Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Section 305, the Sports Show. I'm here, Raul Pagan, with my colleagues, Anthony Aguirre and Nick Dupont. How's it going, fellas?
Hey yo.
It's
All right,
going good, bro.
Nicholas, I think it's the most obvious thing because of the image. Where are you now?
Well, I'm getting ready for
Literally,
game. I'm getting ready for game six. What does it look like?
this dude is doing the whole USA tour
Wait,
like
wait,
he leaves
hold
out of
up, hold up, bro.
concerts.
Hold up, bro. Nick, is Larry O'Brien there? Where's Larry O'Brien at?
All I see is retirement jerseys.
I don't want. I don't want to say too much, but I did see a little. I did see a little case going through the lockers earlier. I saw a little case in there. I know nothing
Really?
about the shape of the
Ooh.
O'Brien, but I did see
Spoiler
something in
alert.
there. For the most part, I've been
Wait,
helping out the
wait.
greeters in
Have
the
you seen
arena, putting on shirts on the chairs and stuff.
are the OKC Western Conference champ shirts in there?
I mean, I haven't seen those. I won't lie to you. I haven't seen those, but I have seen a case. And that case was Louis Vuitton, and I think we can know where that leads to. But I
Ooh.
think those
Yep.
conference finals jerseys are being held somewhere else.
My boy
Um,
got to investigate a little better on this one.
That's gonna be one of the topics that we're gonna be discussing during today's show. So we've got a lot to elaborate. Obviously, we're gonna be more specific how the Eastern Conference Finals ended and what's going on with the Western Conference Finals, which we already knew it was gonna be the most competitive. And literally, like we've seen that type of 90s, early 2000 Western Conference playoff like matchups, like aggressive.
Right.
What this series has reminded me 2009 when the Lakers played the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. That duel between Kobe and Carmelo, how physical they were, aggressive. Like in general, it went to 6 games, and so we'll see. Like the Lakers did in Denver, close it out and go back to the finals. That year they repeated, but they finished the deal because year prior they lost to the Celtics. Now the OKC is different. OKC 1 game away from going back to the NBA Finals, which as a new identity, it was their first chip. As a franchise, from transitioning to the Seattle Supersonics to the Thunder, it's their second. They're looking for their third. But we're gonna get into that in the middle of the show. We're gonna start off first with the Eastern Conference Finals. Guys, we all predicted at least the Knicks to make it to the third round. Some of you guys picked the Pistons. Some of you guys picked the Magic. Weren't bad predictions. The Detroit was this close, 1 game away. The Magic, we'll see the moves that they do, especially what Anthony recommended after we talked about the Jason Kidd firing. Him going to the Orlando Magic organization would be a perfect fit. I think
Hmm.
he can get them over the hump. That was a good selection from our colleague Anthony when we were discussing that topic. But let's not jump to anything. I put the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why? Both teams were under pressure. Both teams have been knocking on the door. And what transpired through that Eastern Conference, I said, this is now or never. Next year, Boston is coming. The Charlotte Hornets are a team that is developing. We're seeing, I mean, Anthony did agree with me with the Raptors, but the Raptors is going to be a
No.
playoff team, especially if they actually sweep Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Cleveland will be back. Detroit, the Knicks are going to be favorites in the Eastern Conference, regardless what happens. I'm going to try to say the East is going to be a little bit more interesting if healthy, especially with Tyrese Haliburton returning for the Indiana Pacers. So I say that this was the only path for both teams to make it, and that's what we saw. Now, me and Anthony discussed last episode. Literally, I predicted that they were not going to bounce back in game two. The Knicks literally stole their hearts, stole it, crushed it, and that changed the whole scenery and momentum from the Eastern Conference Finals. And we witnessed last 2 games, no battling whatsoever from Cleveland. The question that we have here from production is different. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit of the situation what we saw between the Knicks and the Cavaliers. Anthony, can
Hmm.
you give me an outcome of this series? Like what happened? What are the biggest factors that you saw with the Knicks winning or the Cavs losing before we head to the real question?
Biggest thing for me is the Knicks bench stepping up. I mean, they stepped up throughout the series. You get great contribution from Miles McBride, Mitchell Robinson doing his small things but big impacts type of just game. And then Landry Shaman has been on one this whole series, specifically against Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals.
The biggest sleeper.
The
biggest sleeper.
Keep in mind, guys, this is a guy that was not guaranteed to make the team this year. He signed the non-guaranteed, and there was and again, then next thing you know, he was not always in the rotation, and next thing you know, he's popping off, step back threes, like a little shimmy here, shimmy there, a freaking what's it called, like
clutch 3-point. Clutch 3-point shots made in game 1.
Yeah, Landry has been on one just this whole series, and so that's my biggest thing on the Knicks winning. Really, I mean, you already know what you're gonna get out of Jalen Brunson and Cat, but the fact that those guys have really stepped up in their minutes, and Mike Brown has done a great job in rotations, and of course, what the moment needs, when to call a timeout, just executing. I mean, listen, you need to end the NBA drought. Just hire Mike Brown.
Anthony, 2 things before I give it to Nick. I like what you said about the bench production. They scored 58 just to close out the deal. When you had County Towns, with a normal double-double that we expect from him, 19 points, 14 rebounds, he was the best scorer. And then you got Jalen Brunson with only 15 when he was balling. Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Like, you literally didn't need it that much production from their starters, especially when they were horrible from the 3-point line. So I like that factor that you slide in with Sham at 16 points, 4 for 4 from the 3-point line, Miles McBride, Mitchell Robinson. You had other games that Jose Alvarado, mostly from his defensive side, helped the team out, and other players that stepped in. And the other one, what you mentioned during production meeting, like, if you need anybody to get you out of a drought, hire Mike Brown. He did it with the Cavaliers, bringing them to the first finals in 2007. He did it with the Sacramento Kings. They didn't win to the playoffs since 2006. 17 years later, he brings them there. And then now he brings the Knicks to the finals for the first time since 1999, which a lot of people were criticizing him during the season. He's more of an offensive mindset coach than a defensive of Tom Thibodeau. Hey, Tom Thibodeau was there for years, and he only brought them once to the Eastern Conference Finals. Never can lead them to the. So maybe Mike Brown's should stop receiving criticism from what we saw, like, up and down from this team, like no identity. You know what I'm saying? There's some games that they blow big leads, this and that. Like, they're not coexisting. Should they make a trade? Should they, regardless they win or not, should they get Giannis? Yada, yada. For me, like, right now, what the Knicks have done this year has been a big accomplishment. What do you have the outcome of this series, Nick?
I don't even know where to start, man. I mean, it's just the complete collapse of Cleveland. I think that's what it was really about. If I can blame anything, I can blame Kenny Atkinson on a terrible coaching job. Throughout the entire series, we saw ISOs on James Harden. We saw zero use of the bench, and even when the bench was in the game, they weren't doing anything. The defensive help strategies were not there whatsoever for just to even contain Jalen Brunson a little bit. Jalen Brunson just had his way with things. And I want to just jump on James Harden too, because, dude, this is the worst playoff performer of all time. He had one game in these 4 games where he had 0 turnovers. Every other game since, he had 5 turnovers the last game. He had 6 turnovers the game before, and he had 6 turnovers game 1, and not a single time he reached over 20 points. And people want to call him better than Dwayne Wade. Ridiculous. Okay. Absolutely ridiculous. I know, Anthony. I'm not jumping there yet. I'm just saying.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Just thank you.
I'm just saying. Like, this is a guy who's been a journeyman now. He's just a career journeyman. That's what he is. OKC, Houston, Brooklyn, the Clippers. He's never found – he's found minimal success everywhere he's gone, and he's never been able to shine in the most important moments, even when he has to be the number 2 player. And Donovan Mitchell, I don't want to discredit Donovan Mitchell because he did everything he could every single game. Whether in his lowest point,
especially the last game. He was by himself in an island. He was by himself in an island.
But that's what their team was. When you're relying on guys like Max Strus, who's supposed to be knocking down shots, and he can't even put up more than 10 points, it's frustrating. When your premier off-the-bench scorer, Sam Merrill, can't even get him going. Like, there's a lot of problems with that team and a lot of holes. And when you match up those 2 teams one-on-one, you could say, yeah, maybe Cleveland could take a couple games. Me personally, because I was a Knicks hater, I'm no longer a Knicks hater. I'm still a Knicks hater since I'm a Heat fan. But, I have to show respect where respect is, because this is one of the best playoff runs I've ever seen from a team. Jalen Brunson has been incredible for the New York Knicks. Karl-Anthony Towns has done what he's needed to do. He's consistent from shooting at times, but at least he gets rebounds. At least he makes plays when you need him to. And then you have guys like Josh Hart and being coached by Mike Brown. Mike Brown has been phenomenal for this team. The Sacramento Kings they're frauds. They're a sham of an organization for getting rid of that guy. That guy brought
I agree.
and everything else with them, and they threw him out. And you know what he did? He went to a championship contending franchise. Tom Thibodeau could not lead his team to the finals because he kept on over-relying on his starters, and he would not use his bench. Now that we see the bench actually used by a really great system that Mike Brown has, you see the success from Deuce McBride. We saw it from last year from Deuce McBride, but you see it more from McBride. You see it from Shannon. You see it from Mitchell Robinson.
Utilizing them.
Exactly. You see all these different guys fitting into these schemes and playing with their heart. It's so frustrating. Like, Cleveland looked like they gave up the entire series after game 2. Like that team, I'm sorry, they need to break it up, because Kenny Atkinson, I saw that the Cavs. Listen, man, if James Harden's on your team, you're not going anywhere. Evan Mobley disappeared. The fourth highest scoring player the last game of that series was Thomas Bryant, who played 9 minutes, and he had 10 points. That's your fourth highest scorer on your team.
That's crazy.
9 minutes.
And 2 3 points made.
So something has to be done, because this combo of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley has been around for a little bit now. And Jarrett Allen hasn't exactly been, oh my Lord, he's incredible. Yes, he's had moments, but he hasn't exactly been all of that with what you expect from a guy of his caliber.
Since you are asking that they've been within the team, I guess, for well, let's just not say a long time. It was like recently this decade, but yeah, a couple of years. Do you think it should be the same situation, that they should split like Minnesota did with Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert?
I mean, if they could do something like that, that'd be great. I just think Harden's value is so low right now in the market that no one's really going to want him.
No, I'm talking about Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Like the same issue with Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns. Minnesota decided to
absolutely.
Split them.
Their main concern right now is that wing. Because whether you have Mobley or Allen down there, your defense is going to be fine in the paint. Because at least Mobley, the one thing I'll give it to Mobley, he'll be trash on offense, but he'll step up on defense when you need him to. He'll make plays. He will make plays.
That was the same issue with Minnesota. Like, they got production from both big men in the paint, defensive side, but then offensively, you had Rudy Gobert like scoring 5 points or less. Karl-Anthony Towns sometimes was in the slump. But you talking about Karl-Anthony Towns, like he actually, when he's been in the playoffs throughout his career, he's actually like balled. Maybe now and then having bad games, but he's somebody that has been more consistent, more than what we've seen throughout Julius Randle. Now we're seeing a consistent Randle with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, this literally just popped in my head.
All right.
Just fit wise, what would you guys think of I don't know how legitimate this is. Again, Jarrett Allen, Miles Turner swap.
I would not do that at all. At all.
Miles
Turner has been
on
the worst of his career.
No, Nate, but are you talking like Cleveland side or Milwaukee side? Because if I was Cleveland, I would do it in a heartbeat.
For Cleveland specifically.
I would do it in a heartbeat. Dan Gilbert, bro. He was one game away from being a champion with the Pacers.
Here's my perspective on it. Given how Kenny Atkinson coaches, obviously analytics are his biggest thing.
He clears a lot of space for his backcourt, and he scores 3 points.
Here's the thing. Here's
something Allen cannot do.
Here's the thing with Miles Turner in Milwaukee. That was never a good fit in general. That was always going to be horrible. So I think that played a big role in his regression this past season. So I think he needs a fresh start already. I never thought it was a good signing at all. It was a desperate move. All signs point to desperation. So moving to Cleveland, where he could get more touches, he could help space your floor. He provides decent rim protection. He can do a lot better. My gosh, it's stressful. But I think in terms of how Kenny Atkinson coaches, which is very offensive minded and analytically, I think that helps you a lot more than Jarrett Allen at this moment.
I mean, I can 100% see that. I just, again, man, like after that season that Miles Turner did have, and you could say it is system based, I don't believe it personally. He's already 30 years old. He's already hit the peak into the prime of his career. Jarrett Allen, if I'm not mistaken, is around 28, 29, still a little younger. Just for me, based off of youth, obviously you know what you're getting with Allen. He's not a shooter. You're going to get pure rim protection. You're going to get defensive stops in the paint.
Rebounds.
You're going to get rebounds, and you're going to get paint production. That's all you're getting with him. Miles Turner, I'll give you that. He does provide a lot of perimeter aspect to his game, so offensively he can space out the floor. But at that point, you already have Mobley. And yes, Mobley isn't as a consistent shooter as Miles Turner is, but he's also, if I'm not mistaken, like 7 years younger than Miles Turner is. Miles Turner didn't exactly come into the league with an amazing jump shot either. And, this is Evan Mobley still trying to build his career. Jalen Brunson has been through this 3 times now, and he's finally getting to the finals. Now that freaking we see Evan Mobley, this is the second time, and for the second time in a row, he has really struggled. Now you have to question, is that the main trade target? Because he has so much value on the table for me.
From the Cleveland side, I would do it in a heartbeat. For Allen,
not for Miles. For Miles Turner, for Allen, I wouldn't.
Now Milwaukee is a little different.
Milwaukee. Let's keep in mind they're going to need a fresh start if and when they trade Giannis,
of course.
And so,
Jarrett Allen wouldn't have fit, in my opinion. Sorry.
Well, then again, if you're going to trade Giannis, I don't think fit is your thought. I think
right now,
I think your whole idea is just to at least set yourself up for a good future. Yep. So that's all you need to do. And I think, if anything, it could open up Evan Mobley's game. The fact that you have another guy who can space the floor out, who's not always clogging the paint, I think that helps out a lot. And for Mobley, he's hit some big shots behind the arc in this playoffs, so I think it's coming along there pretty decently. I'm not saying you need Evan out on the perimeter a lot, but if you want him to be dominant in the paint, you need to get your other guy out of there. And we all know that Allen is no threat anywhere outside that paint. He's not even a mid-range shooter. But at least Miles is a pretty decent, I would say. So I think that maybe opens up his game a little bit more.
I don't mind it. I just think for Cleveland right now, their biggest need is that wing position. I don't think the center or the power forward spot is really like that big of a concern to them, because either way, they can move on from one of the guys and they're still going to get the same defensive production as they would have with that year before.
So before we transition to like the real first question, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on how the Eastern Conference Finals transpired. I'm going to go 60-40. I like both of your points. 40% with the Knicks sweeping, because first time in franchise history they do that. And they're on an 11-game winning streak, so they continue to extend. Their winning streak was 8, if I'm not mistaken. Now they've reached to 11. So there's a lot of and right now they're having one of the most historic runs, similar to the Warriors when they won 2017, Lakers when they won 2001, the Spurs when they won 1999. And so, like, I would like to incline more percentage of how the Knicks closed out the series, but I'm not surprised. Am I surprised they swept them? Yes, because game 1 should have been Cleveland. Did I have them winning the series? Of course I had the Knicks winning the series, but in 6 games, maybe 7. So, yeah, like, it could be surprising that they basically annihilated the Cavaliers, especially in the last 2 games, 121 scoring offensively, 130 in the last game just to close it out, and winning by 37, humiliating the whole Cavs staff. And so just 2 quick points to wrap it up. I'm inclining with the way the Cavaliers basically got swept. Before I get into the Cavs, I mean, the reason why I'm going to do this quick is because I'm repeating the same thing. I talked with you, Nick, privately in the last episode, with you, Anthony, last Wednesday. And so Harden, yet again, all of a sudden, he books his first class ticket to Cancun at the beginning of the series. We already knew that was happening. Like, he's the worst superstar in history of playoff performance. We already know that. And, like, remember, what was the last question that we had, Anthony, about Harden? Like, the Cleveland Cavaliers to
relying on him.
Exactly. And I said they should, because when are we going to see Harden finally delivering for a team when he's this close to finally reaching back the finals for the first time since 2012? We see him choke when he was young. All right, you got a lot of years to reinvent yourself. With Houston, he was the leader, he was the man, but in playoffs, like always, basically leaves his team stranded on an island. We've seen it with the Philadelphia Sixers. We've seen it recently with the Clippers, and now the Cleveland Cavaliers. So there's no surprising there. And now they're talking about giving him a contract extension. sorry guys, but
That's
Harden's
crazy.
agent, Harden's
They have
agent, Harden's
they
agent,
kind of have to.
Harden.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
do.
they gotta have to. But Harden's agent is similar to Kirk Cousins. Like they're the goats for getting contract extensions and big money. Those guys, literally, we need to hire them once we go big in this industry. I feel sorry for Donovan Mitchell. He did all he could, but yeah, I believe that they gotta restructure a little bit of the roster so they can contend next year. And one last thing, Kenny Atkinson, guys, he won Coach of the Year in his first season. Calm down. I know he made bad choices. He got out coached in this series, but he brought them for the first time since 2018 to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, guys, what is it with the league coaches winning a championship, and then all of a sudden 2 years later they get fired? Coaches winning Coach of the Year, 1 or 2 years later get fired. Like we've seen it with the Mike Browns, the Kenny Atkinsons, the Mike Budenholzer, the Frank Vogels, the Michael Malone, etc., etc. Like when are we gotta just calm the you know what down
Well,
with
well,
you know what I'm saying?
well, I
Letting go of
don't.
these coaches this quick after winning a big honorary award, or bring the team to a championship, and all of a sudden because they didn't repeat it the next season or fought for it the third, they get quickly fired. How is
Well,
that working out?
Raul, I don't think we're calling for his job. At least, like Nick, right? You're not calling for his job, right? You
I
are.
am.
He is. He is.
Okay,
I
Nick is
am.
calling for his job. I wouldn't say I am. I'm not going. I'm not calling for his job, but I am saying the fact that you are the main source for losing this series. I think you're in the hot seat for next season because you could
You are. I
because
agree. I agree.
because if you pull out of there game one with that win,
We wouldn't be having that conversation.
that changes everything. This change,
Yeah.
like, not saying that the Knicks don't get there, but it changes the series. It changes
Okay.
the
Agree.
dynamic of everything.
I agree.
So
was actually.
I'm saying he's in the hot seat.
Yeah,
Nick
I
is
agree.
calling for his job, but
They're not
Well-
going to because they've already said they're not, but they
no,
should.
they,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
and I was gonna get to that, but it's just more so the fact that I believe in continuity. So I'm glad they're keeping him, but I'm saying that
I agree with that.
he should be under pressure because
Yeah.
let's say they maintain at
Sure.
least like a good 85% of this roster. You have enough to contend. You have no
Mhm.
excuse.
Yeah.
So you should be back in the Eastern Conference Finals next year, and if anything, win it. If you don't choke these leads and you don't rely too much on analytics.
Especially if dun 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 for his last 24th season of career in the NBA. The
I
king
don't
is
think he's
returning to the promised land where he
I don't think he's
started
going
his
back.
career, joining James Harden and Donovan Mitchell for
Yeah,
a 1
buddy,
year,
he's-
minimum $20 million deal.
He's not
Yeah,
going
dude,
back.
he's not going there. He's not going there if James Harden's there. That's simple. James
Yeah.
Harden is going to be off that team if he's going to go there. He's gonna call the office and be like,
Should
if
we-
you do not get James
So
Harden
that's
out
why.
now,
So
I'm not going.
I feel like they're gonna pump their brakes on signing a Harden that quick. They're just gonna test free
No.
agency. They're gonna test free
No.
agency to see if LeBron would like to join, and if LeBron, like in any franchise, says something like, "All right, so these
Should
are
we
the moves
even
that I
go
want.
to
These
the
are not the
original
moves that I
question?
want." You never know, man. You never
Should
know.
we-
Dan
should
Gilbert
we-
for LeBron coming back. Dan Gilbert will do anything. He will leave his wife. He will sell his houses. He will literally trade any family member, including his kids, just to have LeBron coming back to.
Should we
quick
just
hit
like
road,
throw
so,
away
yeah.
the original question? Because honestly, we got
What?
we got a good segment out of this anyway. So I think we should.
I'm down
I'm
to do
cool
it.
throwing it
I got-
away.
I
I'm
mean,
cool
what
throwing
is,
it away.
I mean, guys. So you guys feel like he should return to Lakers? What is he gonna do there?
No,
It's a Western
no,
Conference.
not even-
No,
No,
Raul,
it's not even
not
that. But how can you justify putting James, Donovan, and LeBron on the same team?
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say. What if LeBron, like always, has a say in everything, and all of a sudden he tells Dan Gilbert, "Yep, all right, we'll have a deal. Me coming back, but I don't want Harden in this roster." Dan Gilbert will do anything he says.
Okay, so-
Yeah.
Roster structure, you know, LeBron, the only time he didn't have power is because he was dealing with the Godfather. That's the only time he didn't have power. The only time that he actually had a little said, which I was disagreeing when they actually picked up Mike Bibby and then threw out Carlos Arroyo. That was like the worst move that they could have done that year because Arroyo would have been a better matchup for Barea. He knows his moves. He knows his skills. You know what I'm saying? They battle out together with the Puerto Rican selection, basketball selection. So, but other than that, he never had a say in Miami. Only in
Nick-
Cleveland and only in the Lakers.
Nick, please help close this out.
I just wanted to tap into what you were saying about James Harden because The Cavaliers are kind of forced to keep him right now. Like they kind of have to extend him, or else they would have gotten him for absolutely nothing, and then he just goes into free agent like all willy nilly, signs with a random team, and then that's it. They're missing a spot on their roster. They're forced with this decision now to have him on this team because one, if you don't resign him, you're leaving a hole, and then he's going to someone else, and then they're getting value, and you just got nothing for a whole season. So you kind of have to bring him back, and then pray that maybe he's willing to do a sign and trade if that's the case. But I don't even think that's going to be the case. He's going to be a Caval next season because he says the right things and it's the loser quotes in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm saying James Harden has loser quotes.
All right,
please move on. Please move on.
All right, so
please move on, please.
All right. So let's head with the real question. Since the first 25 minutes we went through another direction, but it was interesting. We had to get that topic off our chest. Now,
we'll be quick with this.
Nick,
be quick, please.
Nick, is Jalen Brunson the best Nick of all time?
Not yet.
All right.
The greatest Nick of all time right now in my eyes, and people say Patrick Ewing, I want to say Walt Frazier. I think Walt Frazier is very underappreciated for his time. 2-time NBA champion, 7-time All-Defensive Team, 4-time, I think it was 6-time All-Star if I'm not mistaken. In my dictionary for being the best player for a franchise is accomplishing everything, and Walt accomplished everything. Jalen Brunson, and I don't want to disrespect Patrick Ewing because Patrick Ewing was incredible, second greatest player of all time in my opinion, but he didn't win that finals, and the finals is like the number one thing that people look at.
They were not the favorite against the Spurs. Calm down. They were the eighth seed. They were the eighth seed.
Okay, but still, the Heat were also the eighth seed. No one.
Now we can debate the Rockets. The Rockets finals match.
But that's a different story. But if Jalen Brunson does win the finals this year, I do think he has a lot more accolades to achieve before he can be considered the greatest Nick of all time. But he will be up there. I think people are going to put him over Walt and Patrick Ewing. I think the media and everyone else is going to go crazy and say, this guy is insane. I mean, how can you not? He's averaging like almost 30-something a game every game. Like he's incredible. So I'm going to be hesitant and say no. Walt Frazier is my number one. But if he wins the finals, I'm going to say maybe.
Antonio.
Right now, Brunson's my third. My third. I think he's already better than Carmelo Anthony. So ahead of him, I have Walt and Patrick. If he wins his finals, I think I'm willing to put him back. I'm willing to say he's number two. If he gets a second championship, I think you start having a debate between him and Walt. But for now, right now, he's my number three. If he wins this championship, he's number two.
Well, I guess I gotta have to play the villain in this case. In a 4-year span, this dude has produced better numbers than Carmelo. He's produced better numbers than Walt Frazier. He's produced better numbers than Patrick Ewing, Willis Reed, Allen Houston, John Starks, Stephen Marbury, Latrell Sprewell, and the list goes on. What he's done in a 4-year span with the New York Knicks, bring them over and over to the playoffs, bring them twice to the Eastern Conference Finals, winning an NBA Cup champion, which for a lot of people is not relevant. I get that. It's basically an extra bonus money for the roster. Averaging 26 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds on a 48% shooting, 39% from the three-point line. 3-time All-Star with the Knicks. 3-time NBA All-Second Team. Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Like I just said, NBA Cup champion and MVP. Like, this similar to players that we basically start analyzing them, what they've done in short terms of their career. Let's just say, let's exclude his career with the Mavericks, it was cut down short. After then, he signed with the Knicks. Like, these are numbers we've never seen from a superstar Knicks player in his first 4 years. And now he's brought them to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. Nick, I get it, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are gonna say we cannot jump into conclusion because at the end of the day, he's not the best franchise scorer. Obviously, that's Patrick Ewing, also leader in rebound. We got Walt Frazier, who's the second best. We got Willis Reed, who is the third. I'm talking about scoring wise, and also in rebounds, Willis Reed, Patrick Ewing holds the record. I'm sorry, in steals, Walt Frazier is right there with Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was one of the best paint protectors in the league. I mean, I'm gonna say, like, at least from the Knicks side. And how important would it be for this team to win a championship, a drought that they haven't had since 1973, for Brunson, him, a 6'1", 6'2" guard. A lot of people have been literally saying you cannot win a championship with a small guard. And Stephen Curry proved that wrong. Like, obviously, he had a good roster assemble, especially when Kevin Durant came and joined him. But at the end of the day, he was never Durant was never known as like the best Warrior player in franchise history. He was still Stephen Curry. He was still the face, the best 3-point scorer we've ever seen in NBA history. Like, what Jalen Brunson has accomplished is something that we would not expect from him. We would expect that if the Knicks would have gone like a Donovan Mitchell or a Giannis Antetokounmpo, a Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Those are players that actually get that pressure, expectation to help this team go to the promised land. And Jalen Brunson was actually the most unexpected player in what the numbers he's produced his 4-year career. And now being 4 games away from winning a championship, right now, I still consider him the best Knicks player we've ever seen in franchise history. Win or lose. I'm sorry.
See it. I can see it.
All right. Let's just move on to the next topic, please.
I was trying to be the villain here, but Anthony.
Very quickly, wait. I'm sorry. One thing, and I need to shout out the city of Miami, and because I need to put you onto your new spot at Dolphin Mall, and this is going to be your new routine. So just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Step 1, you gotta go shopping. You gotta walk. You gotta go shopping. You gotta do your thing. Step 2, once you start shopping, you get a little hungry. You know, you're gonna start feeling some food. You're gonna want to get some grub. So step 3, you gotta head directly to the Metropol Restaurant, man. You gotta get some of the best food because Metropol is officially open in Miami, serving up the best in Puerto Rican and Cuban dishes that taste like home with every bite. From crispy fried pork and flavorful ribs to stuffed chicken, seafood, croquetas, mofongo, and perfectly cooked congri rice.
There you go.
Every plate comes out packed with flavor. There we go.
Yes,
Please
sir.
check out Metropol. We love you, Metropol. Thank you.
And they also get creative. They also get creative a little bit with arroz Metropol, which is actually a Chinese fried rice that they created, and it is booming. They also have like seafood platters. They also get fancy with Italian. I mean, this is an all-around restaurant, mostly Puerto Rican Cuban cuisine, but they like to expand. So and also, like, if you're too tired to go during the week, you can also go during the weekend. But if you are craving it right now, go to Uber Eats app, and they will go straight, deliver it to your houses. Damn, I just got distracted because I got hungry with it. All right, but since tonight we got Game 6 between Spurs and Thunder, I'm thinking of Uber eating that. All right, guys, let's go with the second topic, which is Spurs and Thunder. Spurs and Thunder, where the OKC tonight can finish the series, close it out in San Antonio, where my man Nick right now is pre-gaming.
I'm not pre-gaming. I'm working right now, okay? I'm not pre-gaming. I'm working. Pre-gaming will come a little later. That's what's happening.
Oh, my gosh.
Just want to mention that because you're a little bit off with the topics that we just recently talked about, so could have fooled me. Anyways, let's go with the first. Let's go with the first. The only headline of this topic: the OKC Thunder are 1 win away from returning to the finals after beating San Antonio Spurs 127-114. All right, 2 that production made. Who poses a bigger threat to the Knicks, OKC or San Antonio? Anthony Aguirre.
Oh, OKC, 1,000%. I'm not confident in San Antonio the more I watch them. I think they make some lousy mistakes.
Confident at all?
I'm not saying I'm not good, let's say 75% right now.
Don't let Wemby hear that.
Hey, he can hear all he wants. He didn't talk to media, so what's he gonna say to my face?
Whoa.
I was like, I respect Wemby. I really, really do.
Ardiente caliente.
I respect Wemby. I really do. But I don't know. I'm just losing so much confidence in this San Antonio team. They're young. They're going to make mistakes. And you have veterans, but they're not making up for the mistakes, honestly. So, and De'Aaron Fox, I don't think he's lived up to what he could do in this series. So I'm disappointed in him. So I think OKC, I think they close this out in Game 6. I expect them to close it out. I expect where Nick is right now, I expect there to be Western Conference OKC championship shirts. I expect Shea to get his second Western Conference Finals MVP, or even Alex Caruso. Hell, he's been balling out this series. He's got a case, and I expect him to move on.
Caruso,
So
yeah, it's been going crazy.
I think OKC poses a bigger threat. They are the reigning champs, and I think they're gonna. I think they close this out in 6.
Nicholas?
I'm sorry, Anthony, but I've been around the building. I've been walking around. I've been working. I've been helping out, setting up the shirts on the chairs. I don't know if you see behind me. But right now the energy in this building is they're going to 7.
Yeah,
they're winning in 7.
Yeah, the fan base.
At least the fan base
says
says it. But for me, as an analyst, I also want to go with the Spurs winning this series. I love the matchup. I think they have.
I mean, and Nick, you kind of have to, since you put them as your dark horse team to make the NBA Finals. So it would literally flip the script. All of a sudden, you going against them. Like
I need them to win. Okay, I need them to win. That's all I'm gonna say. I need them to win. I don't have any money on the game, but for my take, I need them to win. I love Wemby. I love Stephon Castle. I love the way the team's been playing offensively. I do agree with you, Anthony, that they need to pick it up, especially with the mistakes that they make, the stupid mistakes. I was watching the tape from the game, game 5, and they have such bad paint defense sometimes, and it's really interesting to say because Wemby's always down there. Exactly. But if Wemby's in the perimeter, as soon as he steps on that perimeter, Luke Dort or someone's breaking right through, and they're getting past Champagny, they're getting past Vassell, they're getting past Fox, who's been awful all series.
Yeah, he's not healthy. Gotta take consideration.
No one's healthy at this point. No one's healthy though.
Yeah, but Fox was missing the first games because ankle issues, and then he basically re-aggravated it in game 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course, but then again, you still have an expectation as that superstar player to be able to play at that level, even when you're injured. I mean, look at Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, every time, after a game, he would have to get his knee, oh my God, what was his knee drained because of the amount of pus that was in his knee from after a game. And he was averaging 20 points a game. So from the Spurs, they really need De'Aaron Fox to step it up. I do need that for them to win. Holy crap! Wow, I'm going too fast now. Give me 1 second.
Calm down.
No, I'm looking at the computer. I'm looking at the computer, reading my notes as I'm going by. And I'm just jumping on everything. For me though, the biggest threat on OKC needs to be Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren needs to wake up. I know that he's been good defensively. He's been getting rebounds. He's been effective in some cases, but he needs to be putting up more. I'm sorry. His production has gone down the series, and I get it. You're playing Wembanyama. It's an aggressive series.
That's what I was gonna say. I get what you're saying between Chet, but he's dealing with the biggest issue any team can have in the league. Try to contain Victor Wembanyama.
Well, now it's Hartenstein taking care of that.
Yeah, which is great. It's Hartenstein and Caruso. It's Hartenstein and Caruso, which has been crazy to watch. But
at the end of the day, those two are more physical than Chet Holmgren.
That's the biggest problem. Chet needs size on him, and even Wemby looks like a stick. But even then, he doesn't mind taking contact. He's aggressive. Chet doesn't look like he wants contact. He doesn't look aggressive. He looks out of it right now. And a lot of people want to make the excuse of J-Dub's not there, so that's why they're also struggling, which they are. That is one of the reasons. But you also have guys like a Jai Mitchell coming off the bench and playing lights out for them. But I just really like the way that San Antonio is constructed. I like the team. I like the way that their depth is. I like Carter Bryant. Carter Bryant's been making some big moments and big shots. He's been trying to get his confidence so that he can get it going.
Yeah.
But I really like San Antonio, man. I believe in Wemby, and I think they would be a better matchup against the Spurs, against the Knicks. I know that. I mean, listen. In reality, I think anyone can agree with me on this. Anyone out of the West is going to be a better matchup than the Knicks. For me, I think San Antonio, because I just want San Antonio to win. But anyone is going to be better than the Knicks this matchup.
Yeah, I've always said whoever gets out of the West wins it, regardless who they face in the NBA Finals. Whether it's San Antonio or OKC heading to the Finals, I got one of those two teams winning it all against the New York Knicks. I'm not saying it's not going to be a battle. It can go to a 6-game type of series. I don't see it going to 7 like we saw between the Thunder and Pacers, which was actually surprising. But I got to go with Anthony. OKC, they've proven time and time since last year. They didn't have Chet Holmgren most of the regular season. They still were the number 1 seed for the second straight year. He was healthy for the playoffs, and we already saw that run that they made to winning their second championship in franchise history, the first as a new identity. And then this season, we've seen Jalen Williams literally playing below 35 games in the regular season. And he's only played, if I'm not mistaken, 2 3 games in the playoffs. 1 against Phoenix, 0 in the second round against the Lakers, and then they've utilized him for 2 games against San Antonio, and they still find ways to win without him. They got too much depth. I feel like their bench is much better than the Knicks. We all got to agree with that. Like whether Mark Dano decides to put Jeremy McCain in the starting lineup, which he's been balling like Philadelphia. What the hell did you just do, man? You literally unleashed a beast. If he wouldn't got injured last season, I had him as at least a Rookie of the Year finalist. And
Yeah,
he probably could have won it this year. He started off not being healthy, but then once he got traded to OKC, he even said that he was in his feelings because obviously he liked the city of Philadelphia. He wanted to stay there. That's where he got drafted. That's where he had the opportunity to get inside the league. But when the Thunders made this, I said this was one of the biggest steal in the NBA trade deadline. And now he's found a new home in his second season where he's this close to winning a championship, and he literally has earned every single minute Mark Dano has given him, whether it's coming from the bench or being in the starting lineup like we saw in this game, basically helping out SGA with 20 points. Even though he had a good shooting performance, he's still somebody that doesn't hesitate, is not afraid of the moment. And so this was a big pickup for the OKC Thunder. Now, me saying that, whether it's him or AJ Mitchell being alongside SGA because of the Jalen Williams issue, like you got Cason Wallace, you got Alex Caruso, you got Hardenstein, you got Kenrick Williams, man. You got Jalen Williams with a Y. You got so much youth players that can produce both ways on the court, either offensively production or defensively. And then you got a starting lineup that has proven time and time without Chet Holmgren last season, without Jalen Williams this season, that they can hold it together. And so a game 5 was a big moment for them because a lot of people will be saying that if they would have lost, San Antonio can finish it at their home turf. And so I feel like size-wise, and I know the Knicks are a little bit more veteran than the OKC Thunder, but at the same time, Thunders are the reigning champions. And with the Spurs, you got issues with Dylan Harper. He's not been the same since he got injured at the beginning of the series. De'Aaron Fox re-aggravated that ankle. Victor has shown frustration on how they're containing him. And so the Knicks are a team that literally has proven in that 11-game winning streak that they're suffocating their opponents. They're doing an amazing job defensively, and offensively, they're putting up numbers. So that's why I feel like Knicks and Thunder match up better than a San Antonio team right now, basically showing a little bit, I'm not saying a lot, just to wrap it up, a little bit of vulnerability.
I mean, Dylan Harper has a lot of vulnerability. He just dribbles the ball too much sometimes. It's really frustrating to watch.
Yeah, but
he's fun, but he frustrates me. I mean, again, it's like what go back to Anthony said. Like they make so many mistakes, and like they're just simple mistakes that they make that they can pick up. I don't know what needs to be adjusted for this. It's definitely not a Kenny Atkinson situation, but there needs to be something done.
Mitch Johnson has done an amazing job. Like Mitch Johnson.
Oh, incredible. I agree.
What a big successor for Greg Popovich. So let's see what adjustments they do for Game 6. And Stefan Castle, he's been balling, but bro, turnover issues, man. Like he did a little bit better job. Basically, and I know he's young, but he's literally playing that veteran career. He won Rookie of the Year. He could have won even Most Improved Player of the Year this season. Like, I like his game. He's very athletic. He's a reliant scorer, but turnovers have affected this team throughout the series. We're going to take that in consideration. So, I mean, I'm not saying San Antonio would not be a good matchup. I'm just saying OKC with the depth. And basically,
San Antonio's not ready.
San Antonio right now against the Knicks, I would right now, Nick, I would actually put the Knicks winning against San Antonio for what's transpiring. Because at the end of the day, let's just say, hypothetically, Spurs win it. Man, I feel that they're going to be fatigued, like what we saw from the Dallas Mavericks when they faced the Boston Celtics. And right now, the Knicks are having lots of days of rest. This game could probably go to Game 7. So let's go to that topic just to finish it off and transition to college football. Will the Thunders close out the series in Game 6 tonight? Nick, since you're already...
Do I even need to say it? Do I even need to say it? I've already said what I need to say.
Get this done, please.
I've already said what I need to say. I mean, I'm good. Spurs in 7.
Oh, plot twist. All right. I mean, at least you're staying faithful towards them because it would have been crazy all of a sudden. A couple of weeks ago, one of our playoff predictions as a sleeper, dark horse, you picked them to go to finals, and all of a sudden you say OKC in 7. That would have been really, really irrelevant.
Listen,
from your
I'm in the
part.
home of San Antonio. I'm wearing the Heat shirt. I'm already disrespecting them enough. Let's go San Antonio. Come on now.
How about you, Anthony? Do you see them closing out tonight, or
Yes.
do we see a Saturday game 7?
No, there's no game 7. I don't know. Nick's gotta come home early, man. He's gonna come home early.
All right, so I don't care if Nick comes home early. I would like to have a game 7 on a Saturday in OKC. By that time, we're gonna see a Thunder's team that maybe has Jalen Williams back. But I feel like if he's out for tonight, San Antonio could have a good percentage opportunity to tie the series up, especially with an amazing fan base. And we see a 7-game series on Saturday. So at the same time, Anthony, we remember NBA Finals start 1 week from today. I cannot be 7 days
we gotta
without
get this
games.
going.
7 days without games. Come on, man. I mean, I could handle 5 days, but a week without NBA games, I cannot do that, man. I mean, I'm already in my feelings with the NBA season about to end. I mean, I know the draft is coming, free agency, frenzy, but nah, I'm pushing game 7 like Nick, but opposite. Obviously, OKC finishes it at their home turf. All right, guys. Now we're gonna go to
Wait, before we get into like our last topic, we
my
still,
bad.
hey man, we always gotta give a shout out to our sponsors, Metropol Restaurant, as
Yes, sir.
always. I mean, come on now. At this hour, hunger is striking. I mean, come on now. We all work very, very late. We're starving here, people. We're starving. We are starving ourselves to give y'all this content. So please understand that thankfully, Metropol Restaurant has opened in Miami at Dolphin Mall. We can get the best Puerto Rican and Cuban dishes. I mean, there's no better way to just obviously put some good food in our bellies with Metropol Restaurant at Dolphin Mall. Make sure to check it out, please. And like Raul mentioned last episode, Uber Eats is available, man. So it comes to you as well. Metropol Restaurant, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Metropol, for being our first sponsor, baby. Let's get it.
I know you said you wanted me to come back home. That would be one of the reasons why I come back home.
I'll give you that. The craving is real. All right, guys. So now we're gonna transition to a very serious topic. I mean, we've been basically covering professional and collegiate sport. I feel like the NCAA. Obviously, we're not going to get into how they manage this situation in every single sports. But now there's been like double standards, in my opinion, in certain circumstances. Now, in this case, I'm going to leave you to handle both. Then I'll give my opinion. But recently, and Anthony has been covering this a lot, the NCAA denied Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby's request for reinstatement for eligibility following gambling scandal. It's been a topic we've been talking about since for years, decades, but mostly recently at the ending of 2025 with what transpired with the NBA. And that's opened a Pandora box everywhere around North American sports, and we can say internationally. All right, the real question, should Sorsby be allowed to play this upcoming season? Who wants to go first, since it's a serious topic?
Anthony, you want me to start, or do you want to start?
Yeah, I'm going first because this is a topic that I've had to follow a lot, given my beat with the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I don't think Sorsby should be allowed to play this year, and I think the fact that Texas Tech is trying to make it seem like, oh, he's overcoming an addiction. Yes, it was an addiction, and he's done. But I think if you do one gamble, I think you should be done. The fact that he did thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Yep. Going back to being a true freshman in 2023 at Indiana, I do not care your status. I don't care. I don't care if you're a starting quarterback or
wagers across various sports
or the last guy on the bench.
Wagers across various sports. Yep.
I don't care who it is. I think you should be done. I think you should have your eligibility revoked immediately. But this is the lack of structure in college football and college sports. The fact that there's loopholes. The same way that Trinidad got eligibility despite the NCAA denying him, he went through local courts. That's what he's going to do, local courts. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous to even have the idea of him returning. Again, I think it's bad on Texas Tech that they're trying to fight for him to come back and get play. I understand that you banked a lot on him. You spent a lot of money on him. But I think he should not be able to play. I think he should be done.
And I agree with that. I agree with that entirely. He came off of his best season last year, which is the most frustrating part, I think, for Texas Tech fans.
Yeah.
He had 2,800 yards, 27 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I feel
At,
pretty
at,
good
the,
completion
at the
percentage.
end of the day, Texas Tech had one of the best defensive lines in the league, so that also
Yeah.
helped them out.
Yeah, it would have helped them out, but
Not being on the field that much. Not being on the field
it's
that much.
it's the fact that it's destroying the integrity of the game for him doing this in the first place. Like there were reports about him doing this when he was on Indiana. He wouldn't even play for Indiana, but even then, still, like, you're ruining the integrity of the game. Like, you cannot do that. I'm sorry, and I agree with you, Anthony, on every level, on who you. It doesn't matter who you are and like what you do. Like, you can't do something like this because integrity is the most important part about this game, and I'm gonna say it like 50 times probably throughout the speech, but college football has gone through so many problems with gambling with former quarterbacks, tight ends, especially the Cyclones. The Cyclones have gone through a huge problem. I don't know if you guys know about that, but the Cyclones, they have a huge problem they had a huge problem over there with gambling, where their quarterback was in on it, the tight end, a couple other players. It was wild. And over there was underage gambling. And over there we saw that these guys just immediately get taken out in D1. So I hope that's what happens. Again, like I don't like seeing this in sports. We've seen it in the NBA where Chauncey Billups has been arrested for this. Terry Rozier has been arrested for this. Shante Porter has been arrested. I don't want to say it should be at that level because, again, these are kids at the end of the day. Like, most of them they're young adults. I'll give it that. They're young adults.
Young adults, not kids, young adults.
Yeah, come on now.
But my biggest thing is that, these guys, they know about the consequences going into this. Like, they know, like, hey, like, if you do this, like, you're not going to have a job, and they don't really care because sometimes when they put down these bets, they know that
it affects their future for the NFL. That's the most important. NFL doesn't like controversy at all, which is either the most stupidity thing. That's the most strict league in all North American sports.
Yes, but a lot of these players, though, they know that they don't have a future outside of college football because the NFL, they only take so many people.
So
like, you can go to a tryout. Exactly. So some people also look at it as, hey, I don't really play that much, especially for your first few years. You're like, hey, I don't really play that much. Maybe I can make some extra cash by just betting on games. Maybe I can just bet on, like, our team to win on, like, the games that we know we're going to win. Again, we don't know specifically on what these bets were placed, but all I know is that he was betting on his team, and that is crazy to think about. There's no evidence that he threw games or affected outcomes, although some people want to say differently.
Yeah, it was under investigation.
I don't think he had that much to do with throwing games or doing any of that. Again, like, for the start of his career, he was a backup for Indiana. Like, I really doubt that was the case, but
Nick,
can't destroy the integrity of the game, man. You just can't. I'm sorry.
Nick, sorry to cut you up with that, but like, it was not a small thing. Like Anthony said, placed thousands of wagers across various sports. It was not only one, including betting on his own team playing for Indiana in 2022.
I think he almost doubled or tripled the quarterback from the Cyclones. Hold on, let me pull up the net. Hunter Deckers, yes, Hunter Deckers. He got caught doing, I think, 366 bets, and he totaled about $2,000.
We went way beyond that.
And mind you, he was underage too when he was betting. He was using his mom's DraftKings account, and he got caught, and that's why he got kicked out. This is completely different. Like, this is nuts. The thousands.
Try to outsmart the NCAA. Good luck with that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the NCAA is going to make his life a living hell. I know he's going to local courts. I don't think the local courts are really going to be help for him because, really, what are they going to do? I know they help Trinidad, but that's a different circumstance. Like, he hasn't done anything.
Completely different. Yeah.
And he came from a Division III school, if I'm not mistaken. So, an extra year of eligibility, it makes sense to a degree. The age is questionable, but it makes sense to a degree. This is completely different. He should be kicked out of the league. I think his professional career is over. I wish him the best for his future, but I think he's done.
Make a settlement from what's happening legal-wise with him, but this is an obvious answer. Like, whoever says he should be eligible, like, must be out of his
yes right now. Bring him back.
Must be out of their damn minds. And like Anthony just said, Raiders fans are the only ones that we could believe that. Oh, he's a young adult. They should give him a chance. He just made a mistake. Hey, well, one mistake no matter once you graduate from high school, when you're in the collegiate level, you're almost basically in the professional level. They're getting you ready for that topic. And when it's incident related to American football, with the being more the most restricted league, the NFL, and I'm gonna say it again, Anthony, the most corrupted organization, the NCAA, that's even worse. And now, obviously, he should not be eligible because, guys, we've seen recently the NBA issue. Rozier's not gonna get another job. Bill's probably not gonna get a job. Damon Jones, the other 31 individuals, I don't care about them. We've seen MLB players not making it to Hall of Fame, whether it was utilizing steroids or gambling scandals, and players that or coaches that were elected to the Hall of Fame got revoked because of that. We've seen it in various occasions in other sports. So whether they treat it as professional players or collegiate level, like this is more than obvious. If you're on this type of scandal, and not a small one, a big one, thousands of wagers, this guy obviously, sorry, you made a big mistake. There's no small in this type of circumstance. He should not be eligible, and he shouldn't even be suing the league for that. Like, what was that all about?
Sue the league. It's stupid to sue the league. It really is. I'm sorry.
What was that about? You knowing that you're in that type of situation. What are you trying to?
It's just a desperation move.
Yeah,
he'll do anything he can, but I think Sorsby understands that he has the low chance of winning anything moving forward.
Of course, with thousands of bets, of course. I mean, dude, this guy's just trying to make the best of what he's got at this moment. He's just trying to recover himself. Honestly, that's
there's no, obviously we're not gonna throw shade at him recovering. Obviously not, but in terms of the game itself,
the integrity
that is where we come here with criticism. You hurt the game. Now pay the price, and you gotta leave. That's all you gotta do. I get it. They paid you big money. And congratulations, you got paid big money. But my man, you hurt the integrity of the game, and you hurt your future because of it. So
reputation, everything.
Exactly. That's on you. You got to pay that price. You got to pay that, man.
So this is one of those topics that's very sensitive and serious.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like in the nearest future, there's the Pandora box has opened, and we're gonna be probably hearing, like in the nearest future, more of these type of scenarios, which it's sad, it's disappointing, but as sports analysts, we gotta talk about it. Now, since we're about to hit the 1 hour mark, we don't got time for this. We'll leave it for the next episode, but just a quick reminder, we're not only in the NBA playoffs, we're also in the NHL. And so one of my predictions is almost there. The other one was flat out bad, like horrible, terrible. Like the Las Vegas Golden Knights complete the sweep after a 2-1 win over the Avalanche in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Nick, Anthony, we'll leave this for next episode since we're about to hit the 1 hour mark, and we can also talk about the outcome between the Hurricanes and Canadians. Hurricanes, please. At least one of my teams needs to make it.
Montreal.
I need to go to the Stanley Cup. Would you actually like Canada team to win for the first time since 1993?
No, I'm a Panthers fan. I don't like Carolina. No, I rather have a Montreal team go and then Vegas win again. That's what I'd rather have.
All right, so you got the Las Vegas, the same team that beat us in 2023. Wow, Nick. I mean, that's why. Are you sure you haven't pre-gamed?
I show respect. Listen, I show respect to great organizations. This team has had an existence for 9 years and has made 3 championships in 9 years. That's impressive.
I respect that.
I show respect for that.
No, I actually respect that, Nick. So we'll have that topic, and obviously talking about what happens either tonight or this weekend between the Spurs and OKC Thunder, and then we'll do our predictions for the NBA Finals and whatever also happens during the weekend and next week in the sports industry. But we wrap it up this episode. I'm Raul Pagan with my colleagues Anthony Aguirre and Nicholas Dupont. Nick, good luck there in San Antonio with the fan base. We're going a 7-game. You rooting for San Antonio, I'm rooting for OKC. Anthony says it closes out tonight. We'll see if it's right. Take care, guys. See you next week.